So friends, now as I just explained you this question number 5. So now I am moving now on to the next question, that is question number 6. Now what I did, why I waited for few seconds between 5 and 6. Reason is actually ray optics totally divided basically in two parts. Fine. That is, one is your what? That is reflection and then refraction. So what I planned that half of the questions, around 4-5 questions, should be devoted to one aspect, that is reflection. Now specifically very carefully I picked these very sweet questions. These are from the refraction phenomena. Fine. So here is your next 6th question. Transparent sphere of radius capital R. First I am reading the question, then I will draw the diagram. Don't worry. Fine. And refractive index mu is kept in air. Let us say before drawing the diagram, just imagine a hollow glass sphere, beautiful glass sphere is placed in air. Refractive index is mu. Now it means transparent sphere, it means inside definitely refractive index is changed, outside. So two sides air, one side material. At what distance from the surface of the sphere should a point object be placed so as to form a real image at the same distance from the sphere? Question is simple. Fine. So first with the help of a beautiful yellow color, I would like to show you the diagram of this entire statement. Fine. So let us say this is the sphere, okay, and this is the, you can say, principal axis, baseline, whatever you can define. Then they said a point object so as to form a real image at the same distance. Okay. Let us say the point object is situated at this point, okay, and this distance is d. So as per the question, the image must be at distance d, essential, it is given. So it is d. Now what will happen? Just with the help of a one way, if I would like to explain, 1, 2 and then 3. So let us use a blue color chalk to show the arrows. Now let us try to read the question once again. Fine. I draw free-handed this diagram. So if line is somehow tilted or something like that, please ignore it. So transparent sphere of radius capital R, and refractive index mu, okay, kept in air. So this side air, this side air. Fine. And point object, this is point object and this is the image, equal distance. Now we have to find this value d. We have to find this d value in terms of r and mu, because only two parameters are given to us. D is something which we assumed from our side. Okay. So now step by step I am explaining it. Just one simple formula is applied over here. Okay. So let us take a look. I am directly writing the formula, that is mu upon infinity, fine, that is refractive index, minus 1 upon minus d, fine, is equal to mu minus 1 upon r. Basic result, solve it, 0 minus minus plus 1 upon d is equal to mu minus 1 upon r. Therefore d is equal to r upon mu minus 1. So this is your result, that is d is equal to r upon mu minus 1. Fine. Very simple steps, 1 upon u minus 1 upon v is equal to 1 upon f type of formula, simply putting the values. So as such, this question was not difficult, but yes, important from the point of view of the assumptions and understanding of the ray refraction. Fine. Beautiful question, simple question. and in NEET exams, examination body love to ask these questions just to check your basic understanding in physics. Fine, because after becoming a doctor you have to use so many devices to examine the patient, and those devices are specifically based upon all these ray optics and other phenomena. Fine. So students, now let's move on to this next question, and please don't get panic by just watching this big question. Actually this question is a very simple 2-line question, because we tried to compress this question in a small space just to show you in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. That's why this much space it is taking, otherwise simple question. Let's say what exactly the question is. A ray of monochromatic light. Whenever you are reading question, repeatedly I am explaining this aspect. Whenever you are reading a question, please try to mark important aspects. Over here, monochromatic means only one wavelength applied. Fine. Incident of the plane surface of separation between two media, X and Y. Okay, so two media, X and Y, I will draw the diagram, but first I am just giving you the basic idea. With angle of incidence I in the medium X and angle of refraction R in the medium Y. Be careful, this word, okay. The graph shows the relation between sin I and sin R. Snell's law, basically they want to check whether you have that understanding or not, simply. So fine, then you have these options. Basically you have to take the look of this graph, and on the basis of this, one by one you have to check all these options. My suggestion is, first I am going to use this space to explain you, fine, and then on the basis of the outcome of the solution we will check these options and then we'll decide. Okay. Actually I was trying to put this graph over here, but then it was disturbing these options, that's why the graph is at below part. Fine. So let's try to find out the solution. The solution is from, and if it is right now not visible, don't worry, because now the question is clear to you. From graph, what exactly mentioned is, that is sin I upon sin R, fine, is equal to tan 30 base, height 30 degree angle. So sin I upon sin R is equal to tan 30. Now what is the value of tan 30? Class 9th basic value, 1 by root 3. No problem. Let's write down this yellow color equation with the white color chalk, because now you are comfortable with this. So that is 1 by root 3. Moreover, what you can say from here, root 3 sin I is equal to this sin R. Fine. So from here, if you can write like this, okay, just a second, then I'll have to change it with 60. Let's make it sin R upon sin I, because the value is given from x axis. Sin R upon sin I, yes. Otherwise I'll have to take this 60 degree angle. That way also I can do that, no problem. So from here what you can say, sin I is equal to root 3 sin R. Just let me show you that also, what I mentioned earlier. Earlier I mentioned sin I upon sin R, but in that case I have to take the angle, this angle, that is tan 60. So once again you get the same value, fine. That is root 3 sin R, that is sin I is equal to, sin I is equal to root 3 sin R. So both ways same, no problem, fine. Whatever you want to do, you can use that method, either this way, the way it is represented, or this way, fine. Now from here I'll have to mention a new formula, new concept to all of you, that is from Snell's law. I'm sure you all are well aware with this result. From Snell's law, mu x sin I is equal to mu y sin r. Basic result, no problem. Mu 1 sin I is equal to mu 2 sin r. So mu 1 mu 2 is something what? One medium x, another medium y. So basically we mentioned accordingly. Fine. Now see, this mu is what? Mu is relation between speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in the medium. Fine. So in place of mu x, what I can write down? I can write down c upon vx, and at the place of sin r, sin I, what I can write down? Root 3 sin r. Fine. So please allow me to use this space, then the sequence is going to remain same. That's why, otherwise I was supposed to use that space, but just want to show you, at the place of mu x, I can write down c upon vx sin I. Rather than sin I, what I want to mention? Root 3 sin r, this value, into root 3 sin r is equal to mu y. Mu y means c upon vy. C upon vy is multiplied by sin r as it is into sin r. Now do one thing. C sin r cancel. So now from here what we can say? Vy root 3 is equal to Vx. Now this is the result, these are the values. I think now everything is crystal clear. Speed of light in the medium y, the result is in front of you. Fine. So whenever you have to attempt these type of questions, don't start reading options first. Let them enjoy their respective positions. First solve the question. Answer itself will come out and then you can match it. Okay? Yes, angle, even if I am getting confused, that way either use this 60 the way I mentioned or use 30. Fine. So now let's move ahead for the next question. What I am trying to do in, with the help of this question, just to give you some basic understanding so that you can visualize these proper formats. So students, here comes a next question. Now very minute amount of calculation is involved over here. I'll show you that. Given that v, velocity of light in quartz, is this much, whenever you are reading the question, my one simple humble suggestion is, what does it means? It means c upon v, means refractive index. So you can simply say refractive index is 2, 1.5, 10 to the power 8, 3 into 10 to the power 8. So whenever you are reading the question, these points should definitely, they should come out in your mind. By that way you can revise all these concepts. And velocity of light in glycerine is this much. Obviously velocity of light in glycerine is slightly different from this value. Why? Because 4 2s are 8, remaining 1, 4, that is 2.2, it is 1.5. So both are different. Obviously the refractive index is different. Fine. Now a slab made up of quartz is placed in glycerine. Okay. The shift of the object produced by slab is how much? It's like that. In quartz, velocity is this much. It means you can find the refractive index of quartz as 2. In glycerine, speed of light is this much. It means you can find the refractive index of the glycerine and then you can find the shift. This question is based from optical path length. So this is the concept involved. Fine. Many times it happens with all of you. You are reading the question but you are unable to find out from which topic this question is. So you should also inculcate this habit. Fine. Now let's try to draw a diagram. as per this question, here I am drawing a diagram. This is a quartz slab. Fine, that's why I am using a different color. Then this line, it is object, and this distance is 20 centimeters. Fine, 20 centimeters. Now here I am present means this place is for observer eye. Okay, this place, human eye is here. This is observer, this is your object, and this gapping is 18 centimeter. It is basically the part of the problem itself. Fine, but it's better to provide in the form of this diagram so that you can visualize. Now this is glycerine. Glycerine is a type of alcohol, I think. Fine, in chemistry I am sure you must have studied this glycerine, and over here again glycerine. Fine, now you have to quartz. Okay, fine. So step by step I am going to provide you the solution. That is normal shift. Normal shift means because of the change in refractive index, obviously the velocity of the path is light is going to change. Fine. So normal shift is h actual, that is just a symbolic representation, and this h is in suffix. Okay, so don't get confused. Actual is equal to 1 minus mu r upon mu this d. Fine, this is also in suffix, small d. Now from here h act is how much? 18 centimeter, this value. Okay, so 18 centimeter, this value 18 centimeter. Fine. Now h real, that is h relative. So now I am going to remove out this diagram. Fine, I hope it's sufficient for you to visualize the question. So this value is given, h active is equal to 18. Now h real, that is r, I am using different symbols. If you want to visualize the problem, questions, symbols different, no problem. Fine. So hr is equal to HgLy. Real is actually what? That is in glycerine. So it is going to be 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, that is the speed of light in vacuum. And how much value is given? That is 9 by 4 into 10 to the power 8. Now obviously cancel, it's jumping up. So now it is 4 3s are 12 upon 9. Ultimately it will give you 4 3s are 9, yes, 4 by 3. Fine. Now normal shift is how much? It is 18. 1 minus, try to recall that formula value, 4 by 3 upon 2. Why 2? That's why I mentioned in the starting of the question 1.5. So 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by this value, ultimately you will get the mu as 2. Fine. Now I hope it is very simple trivial solution. 2 1 are 2 minus 4 by 3 upon 2, 9. So finally normal shift you will get as 6 centimeter. You will have to just solve this. Fine. Take this LCM, SCM, whatever, and then solve it. So this question was simple, and yes, concept of change in velocity, obviously of light, velocity of light, that is taking place. Fine. Students, whenever you are reading question, please, it's not like that just keep on reading one line, two line. Visualize the entire concept, questions in totality. If you are going to meet any one of your friend, then what you do? You appreciate what he is wearing, you appreciate what he is doing on his or her studies front or something like that. So in totality, try to analyze the problem. Fine. Let's move for next question. Now this question is purely a combination of, fine, whenever reading the question always your eyes should come on to this way. Ray incident at a point at an angle of incidence of 60 degree, that is pi by 3, enters a glass slab of refractive index this much. You can easily find out the velocity of that light in that particular slab, and it is reflected and refracted at the farther surface, fine, farther surface, okay, of the sphere. The angle between reflected and refracted rays at this surface is how much? Just it's further, it's just a typing simple mistake, fine. Further means far away situated object. So now let's try to find out the solution of this particular question, okay. And if at any point of time you find yourself in a complicated situation regarding concepts, in my videos during the regular shoot always I suggested that please go through at least once or twice with these concepts, fine. Regularly if watching your videos, definitely you will get lot of benefit from that. Even this time JEE mains exam questions, exactly it happened the way we predicted. You can cross check our claims that we used in this particular exam. So now simply I am writing the formula mu1 sine I is equal to mu2 sine r. Basic result, refraction, diffraction both are taking place. So it's going to be 1 sine 60, value is given over here 60 degree, is equal to 1 by that is remaining angle is going to be 30, yes, so root 3 it is given, so it's root 3 sine r, fine. Mu is given, mu2 is root 3, mu1 is 1. Now if you solve it, you will get sine r is equal to 1 by this 60 is equal to root 3. I think I should put the all values, otherwise few of you who are not regularly watching these videos, sine 60 means root 3 by 2 is equal to root 3 sine r, fine, 3 cancelled, sine r is equal to 1 by 2, 1 by 2 means what? 30 degree. Now you can easily find out from here also 60, so 90 minus 60 is 30, but I think using formula will give you definitely much better option. So from here if I am writing r is equal to 30 degree, a clever student just by watching this value directly say, sir, angle r is going to be 30 because 90 minus 60 will give 30. But here is the formula, I used the formula and then I calculated the values. Ultimately, finally what is required over here? That is very simple result. I just show you the diagram also. Incidence, I am not going to draw the total diagram. Transmitted or refracted and reflected, and it is refract, okay, and this is in C. So incident, reflected and refracted, fine. So angles are how much? 60, okay. Over here the angle is going to be 90. Reason being, please see the beauty, 60, I and R both are equal, fine, and this much angle is going to be how much? 30. So now here remaining how much? 60, here remaining how much? 30. So both are perpendicular to each other. 30 we just calculated, it is remaining as how much? 30, it is remaining at how much? 60, fine. So if you try to solve the problem in this fashion, obviously answer is bound to come, don't worry on that part. So now directly you can say, and how much is the total angle? I think I should use this entire angle, 180. 0. Fine. So theta is equal to 180, then this plus 60 plus r minus 60 minus 60 plus r. Get the value of r as equal to 90. Actually, by calculation you can do like this, and by diagram you can do like this. Fine. A simple question where a clever student can just calculate the values, and a more clever student will definitely love to write the steps, because in mathematics and in science, if you are using step by step calculation, you are ensuring that answer is going to be perfectly correct. Fine. So this is obviously good approach. And then this question, find the apparent depth of object seen by observer A. This is I am standing, my name is observer A as per my name. This is air, then there is something, let's say for example honey, n is equal to 1.5, then something, let's say for example glycerine 2.5, then it is, let's say glass, n is equal to 2, and then the object. So I am standing over here, it's like this. Please, I am sure you must have visited any river place, and there you may find the fishes are floating, and if you just watch like this, they are actually not at the same distance where they are. If you just insert your hand, you will not able to catch them. Fine. So that is the refraction or deviation is taking place. So we just try to calculate that. 1 deviation, 2 deviation, 3 deviation. So for me the distance is not 25 plus 15, that is 40. No, it is going to be something else. And in that way, students, I would like to mention a very interesting fact. There is one bird that is known as kingfisher, and that bird knows all these ray optics phenomena very well. She directly jumps and directly catch. So you need to calculate, that bird don't need. Fine. So apparent depth is equal to d1 upon air mu1 plus d2 upon 1 mu2. Fine. Put the values, that is 25 upon 1.5 plus 15 upon 2.5 divided by 1.5. Fine. Solve it. You will get it as 50 by 3 plus 6. So how much it will be? It's going to be 3, then 6 3 ja 18, 50. So it's going to be 68 by 3. I would like to solve it more. Answer is correct, that is A is the answer, but I want to solve it more. Reason, I want to show you something. So 3 2s are 6 and 3 2s are 6, remaining 2. See the difference. It is not 40. So what I will do, if I will try to catch this using a, you can say a rope or something, then what I will do, 25 centimeter plus 15 centimeter. Answer should be how much? 40, while the correct answer is only half of that. Fine. So this is the, you can say, difference, and that kingfisher knows all these laws better than us. So now students, I would like to say thanks to all of you for the part of these 10 questions discussion. Fine, that we completed in a very short duration. Idea was just to give you a brief explanation and revision of these concepts. Please be in touch with the subject, keep revising, and be the part of these regular videos. Once again, thanks a lot.